What's up, everybody? This is Morehouse back with another Garage Sessions. We've got a very special guest, Miss Terran It Up. How are you doing today, Terran?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you so much. So last week you joined us for the Garage Sessions. You threw down a mix. And unfortunately, I did not capture our interview beforehand, so we're back on here to do an impromptu kind of interview. So I guess let's begin with my standard question of how did you get into DJing?
So back in 2016 is when I learned to DJ, and I was taught by now a very successful liquid producer. He's got some records out on Focus and Hospital and whatever. But he taught me how to beat match on vinyl, and I was lucky enough to learn on some nice decks. Um, I didn't have to suffer on belt drives for too long. But I was taught how to beat match. I'm a classically trained musician, so it was quick. I could figure out how to count beats. And drum and bass, everybody told me it was just the best. So that's what I was going to go with.
So is it true? Is it the best?
I mean, there are intricacies and layers to drum and bass. To me, it's the jazz of all dance music because of its spread. So I think it's the best. And that's not to discredit any other subgenre because ultimately I do listen to a lot of different types of music. I don't pigeonhole myself.
Fair enough. And let everyone in on a little secret, but her guilty pleasure is happy hardcore. I'm totally kidding.
I mean, if you want a mix, I'll give you one, though. I am a DJ.
She is. She is a DJ, and oh, that was a little loud. She is a very good one. She just put out a mix on American Junglist. You want to tell us about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So the American Junglist show is run by a guy named TJ. And shout out to Orlando and him getting it all figured out. And with some help from other underground artists, he's created this whole brand, the American Junglist, where he features American drum and bass DJs. Um, and they get their guest mixes. I was given and suggested that I should make one, and I sat on that idea for probably 6 months. And then I was like, no, I think I got it. I think I got the one I want to send. And I sent it, and it took, I don't know, 15 minutes into the mix, and my inbox was blowing up. And I was definitely being told that I had a shot, and it was wild. But yeah, so I got to put out my mix. It came out April 8th, and it's out on all platforms. So you can stream it anywhere that you can stream podcasts. And it's a great show. It's a great archive of drum and bass DJs here in America and showing their capabilities and what they can do.
For sure, for sure. And once I edit this up, the link and the description is going to be somewhere around here, somewhere, and you can find her mix there for the American Junglist. So you've been in New Orleans for a little while now. What are some of the things that you want to accomplish while you're here, and as far as DJing or promoting or producing? Like, what are your goals this year?
So this year I want to put my stamp on a few more underground locations here in New Orleans. There's a big surge of female DJs out there that are playing the harder stuff like hard techno and drum and bass and things like that. There is a lot of, the rave in New Orleans feels like it's in its renaissance right now, which is really, really cool because it has the opportunity to grow. And I'm here for the underground. So I want to make my stamp on more locations and more parties here in New Orleans. I've got bookings, in Mississippi coming up, Orlando coming up, and shit like that. So I'm mostly just trying to just keep making my mark on the underground here and across the U.S.
Right on, right on. Um, So how long have you been involved in, I guess, what we like to collectively call the scene?
So I'm a millennial, which means that we had teen clubs back in the day. So probably since I was like, I don't know, to be fair, probably 13 or 14, we were throwing raves and clubs and letting kids in. Kids. I'm not co-signing that, but I've been in the scene for a minute, and it didn't start with drum and bass, like any good dance enthusiast. It started with house music. So I'm just saying, it started with the mother of dance music, and then moved on from there, and then just found bigger and different parties. And I travel the US a lot. So I've been to parties in, California and in Florida and in Texas and in Buffalo, New York, Ohio, the east and west of PA. I've been to Atlanta and all the places in between Arizona, Phoenix, Tucson. Um,
Very cool.
so,
Very
yeah.
nice. Very nice. Um, so something that we had kind of discussed last time was we were talking about up and coming artists, and you were speaking on how you don't think that they should try and be everything all at once. Do you want to expand on that and tell us what your thought process was there?
Yeah, absolutely. So my basic hot take on music, whether you're a DJ, producer, whatever it is that do your art. Do what art calls you to do. We don't get a choice in art, I don't think. I think it's something that pulls you to do it. Um, if you're trying to be the DJ, producer, promoter, the investor for the parties, if you're trying to do it all, the industry's making mad money off of you. It makes it easier on them. Um, the rave is a collective. The underground is a collective. We're a community and a family, and it's important that we stick to what we want to do and work on our skills and work on our strengths and not get jaded by this idea that you have to be this one man band to be anything. Ultimately, I write music on occasion and work on projects and work with other artists and things like that. But what I show people that I do is DJ. And it's just because I want to put that good music out there. My focus is to share the music that people should hear with them. And I stick with that. It's not that I can't produce a tune. It's not that I couldn't throw a party. It's not that I don't know the the scene well enough to do any of those things. I do, but my focus is just sharing the thing that I love with everybody else. Hopefully, I can make you love it too.
That's a pretty good philosophy. I like that. I like that. I'm guilty of doing that, of trying to be the one man band, as you said.
We all do it.
We do.
We all do it, and it's hard. And I don't want any artist to feel like it's not worth doing the art anymore. That's not the point. That's not the point.
And I think you know this, but one of my philosophies is when I book my artists, I don't expect them to promote the show. I don't expect them to talk it. That's on the event production and the event promoter. That's their job to do that. But I also don't base my selection of DJs on how many followers they have, or how much influence they have. I base it on, do I like what they have playing, and are they any good at it? So
Yeah, and I think that's definitely why I wanted to do this garage sessions and whatnot, is because I think you're another artist that is here to rep the underground, not step on it. And that's kind of like how I look at it when I'm gauging the people that I work with in the community, in this city, in other cities. I mean, gatekeepers are everywhere. Let's not pretend they don't exist. They're everywhere. It's part of the industry too. But that's what I'm looking for, is who's repping the underground and who's stepping on it. It comes from the bottom, and then everything blows up, and that's how we get big artists. It's how we get big festivals. And I'm here to support all the artists that are here to support the underground. And you can see it. You can see it in what they put their name on. It's easy.
yeah,
You just gotta look.
and you got to keep in mind, not I don't think there's any DJ that just started out as a headliner. Like I'm pretty sure 100% of us started in the bedroom.
Most of us, most of the good ones that are still around, have played years, or maybe not years, but they've played a bunch of empty dance floors and played a bunch of empty dance floors and a bunch of bedroom sets.
Yes, lots and lots of bedroom sets. Um, Normally I ask an off the wall question, but I'm not going to do that this time since we're not live and actually in the garage. So I'm gonna spare you the embarrassment this time around.
No worries. I appreciate that.
Um, let's see. So let's talk about if you'd like how kind of the whole music festival scene and like the rave scene and all that. Um, Obviously we have Frankie Bones' influence from New York, like doing his underground shows, but then you've got here in New Orleans, Disco Donnie and the State Palace Theater. Um, so I think it's important to talk about the history and kind of know how this whole thing has evolved from what it was to what it is now. Um, and they've got a show coming up for Return to the State Palace Theater, which unfortunately is not at the State Palace Theater, but
No, it's condemned. You
yes,
can't.
you can
You can't.
you can buy it. I think it's $5 million or $8 million.
Yeah, it's mental.
Yeah, it's
It's
but you can buy it if you've got that kind of money. Please buy it. If you want to renovate it, turn it back into a venue, we would love you for it. Um, but no, you're speaking about the Renaissance, or I'm sorry, yeah, the Renaissance. You said New Orleans is kind of in a Renaissance period. I see it as kind of like a Renaissance revival. Like it's been through its Renaissance, but I see this as like the third stage or the third coming of the rave scene. Like I've seen it have its ups and downs, and I feel like we're on our third buildup of the scene, and it's just going to get even bigger this time. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for it as well. So, as the scene grows and whatnot, it didn't start out with palace parties, right? And just to be fair, because up until recently, I didn't know, but for all the New Orleanians and all the people who've been to state palace parties, if that was the only rave you had been to, that is not the rave experience most of us had in the US. I'm just gonna put that out there because we didn't all have that. Okay. And so I say that to start this because um, I'm calling it like a renaissance because it's got to go back to something small. And what I see is a lot of people trying to grow parties over a single night and expect to have something blow up. And I don't know about you, but I've never made money in drum and bass. Never. There's no money in it. I mean, there is. Don't get it twisted. But like, I don't believe that throwing a drum and bass rave is gonna make you money. It hardly does. If you're lucky, you break even, and that's the nature of the game when it comes to promoting and throwing parties. There's a reason I'm not doing it. Um, I don't get capital like that. But I do like that it's growing right now. What I've seen just in the last 12 months is this massive growth, and you had like one thing every 3 months. And I remember just looking at when I was going to be in New Orleans again and just waiting to see, well, when's the next rave and when's the next party and like what happened. But it just needed to get a foothold over the past few years. COVID was hard. And technology has made a huge leap. And it has also introduced a whole bunch of people to music and the industry as a whole, production, DJing, all those things, festivals and stuff for the first time because they were watching it on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's helpful for the scene, but like anything, you got to let it blow up. You got to let it trim the fat and all the other things. Um, I don't like seven of the same events on one night.
Yeah.
You know why I don't like that? It's because there are small hole in the wall bars and there are small clubs, medium clubs, and super clubs, right? But I think everybody in the city's chasing the dream of another palace party that we can't have. That we can't have. And meanwhile, throwing 7 different parties on the same night instead of one. The math ain't mathin'.
No, it's not. Or even three. Like
Community means that we're getting together. Throw a multi-genre event. I mean, as a drum and bass DJ, I play drum and bass, I play jungle. I like that a lot. Put me in a back room. Put me in the basement. Put me in the top room. Put me in the corner of a warehouse. I don't need the main room. What I need is all the ravers to be in one spot
yes.
so that they all feel like they have a place to be. What I want is them to be there and the rig to be so big that we get in trouble again. Okay, that's what I want. I want there to be three sound guys arguing over which set of stacks sounds dirty because they got to put so much sound in the warehouse. I don't want these independent artists that are like doing all other things. Like I'm just gonna do all of this stuff because that's not what the rave was about. It was to bring all of us nerds and artists and audiophiles, tech. We
Outcasts.
didn't even know that we were synth geeks yet. We didn't even know what we were doing. But we were all doing it together, and that's what built this scene. And I truly believe that it's got to go back to that. New Orleans keep growing. People keep throwing their parties. It'll organize. It will. Just as long as the focus is to keep growing the scene and not to compete. If you're trying to make money in some of these more obscure genres of dance music, I'd put it to rest. It's hard. It is hard.
If you're gonna do
And
it,
it,
do it for the love. That's
do it for the love. It's for the art. I only mix because I love the music and because it's been argued that I have the best taste in drum and bass. So there's that.
whose argument is that?
Listen, don't make me drop names.
I'm not. Like that's yeah. That's between you and Rave Jesus.
Rave cheese.
Rave Jesus, little baby Rave Jesus. Anyways, you know, shameless plug here, but if you're trying to do some multi genre, multi promotion events, Good Vibes events is always up to throw down and help organize. I've been doing this for a minute, maybe a year or two, possibly. But
It's listen, you mentioned Donnie,
yes,
and so that's not because you've been doing this since last week.
I just found out about raves yesterday, and I wanted to get in on it. So
I got a tattoo.
yeah, that's how I got my tattoo. I got this yesterday. It says I love house music. I've had this since like 2011, I think.
I know. I saw that picture that you posted from many moons ago.
Many moons, yes, many moons ago. Anyways,
But yeah, I'm excited for the scene. I want it to keep growing. I want to see people keep doing it. I want to do pop-ups in the park. I want to do them in the skate park. Like I said, I'm here for the underground. Yeah. That's really what it is. And I'm pretty good at what I do.
she is. I can vouch for that. Yes,
Um,
I've seen her play multiple times. She talks a big game, but she backs it up.
yeah. Listen, I know everybody's out there. If you wanna come and listen to my sets to micromanage them live so that you come back at me and criticize everything, please do. Because I'll take another body in the door any day.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And any day of the week I'll take another body in the door. I don't care. Come to hate on it if you like. But the rave's for everybody.
Yes, it is for
It's
everyone.
for everybody. And if you can, if you want to dance, I'm gonna move the floor. If you want to dance and there to be girls in the club, I bring girls to the club.
And she'll dance with you too.
I will. We did get an epic video of me jumping off stage at the end of my set and dancing to my last song.
Yes.
Not on
Yes.
stage because I don't stand. I don't dance behind the decks. I dance on the dance floor. I will dance with my people.
Yes, that's what it's all about. It's all about the people, for sure. And one thing I think it's safe to say this, but the rave will never die. As much as they try and shut us down and keep us away from it, like we always come back to it. It's
Yeah, because I'll have a Connex filled with the rig.
exactly.
I'm telling you, the dream is maybe I get a little toy trailer
Hmm.
and build a rig in it,
Okay.
and put it on the back of an RV and travel the US of A, go hit the underground everywhere.
Yes. I've actually had that same idea. I haven't even talked with you about this, but I've had like a very similar idea where I take Good Vibes events on tour and like, grab a couple DJs from each city along the Gulf Coast and do like a Gulf Coast tour from like
Wild that you're even saying this because you're going to edit some of this, right?
possibly.
Well, I've been just
Don't
talking
steal
about the
don't steal
setting.
our ideas. Don't steal our
No,
ideas.
I've just been exactly. I was just been going to say that talking about a tour because I got standing slots. That's the reason I'm asking if you're going to edit this because I'm not trying to like plug here or whatever. But
Oh,
like
okay.
on a conversational level between me and you, Morales, I have I have 5 standing guest spots
Okay.
in 5 different states.
That's what. Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking is like take a couple DJs from each city along the Gulf Coast or whatever, and like just go from city to city every weekend. Like you show up at a different spot, and then once we've made it to the east, we head back to the west, and just keep going back and forth. Like that's. Anyways, don't steal our idea. If you
Don't
do,
steal our
put
idea.
our name on it.
Yeah, I know what I want to call that tour
Oh,
already, and I'm not going to say it for
okay, that's fair
intellectual.
enough. Yes,
I'll text it
intellectual.
to you.
Yes. Okay, fair enough.
But
And I'll
yeah,
keep it.
because it's a 3-part series, I got some ideas. But I
Okay.
know mostly I just want to do an underground tour. I know a lot of underground DJs. TJ said in my mix description, TJ who does the American Junglist show, when he wrote a bio, which is not just what I wrote.
Mm.
Right. That's just also what he's known to me and him and I talking and whatnot. And him and I haven't actually met in person, but he said something about how we haven't met in person yet, but it seems like everybody knows who I am.
Mm.
Which is kind of funny because I tell people, you can find me in the underground if you can find me.
You can find me on the dance floor.
I mean, if you can find me, because like I'm gonna be in the underground shows. That's where you're gonna see me. I go to a few big events. I do those too. Um, but mostly you can find me in the underground if you can find me. But I've got the underground plug on the DJs and the clubs all over the US because I travel a lot. Some of that's the military, some of it's my family. Lives in different places. I've been given opportunities.
For sure,
Um,
for sure.
I've made opportunities for myself so I could go and see some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Anyways, let's wrap this up. Um, is there anything else that you want to just inject into this interview or into this conversation? Like anything anything at all?
The art is you. The art is you every single time. And it's truly what I believe. And I hope that every artist just remembers why they're doing it. No famous artists. I mean, artists used to not get famous till after they died. And it's what made the art connectable. So just keep doing you. Anything is possible with drum and bass. Anything is possible with drum and bass. If you see it tagged anywhere, it's me. Um, and yeah, just like I said, rep the underground. Don't step on it. The big shows are always there. They're always making money. Those people got investors and advertising. They made their money. But it's the underground. Just keep supporting those people. By the way, having the same people on every lineup is not supporting the underground.
No, that's true. Although if it's a good like look, even
Oh no, I mean when they have the same 5 artists
oh yeah,
on the
yeah.
lineup every time.
No, I feel you. And
And
that's
I see it everywhere. It's not here. I'm not calling anybody out or anything like that. I just say that um I say that because it's not supporting the underground.
it's not. And that's, even when I did my first event here, like I didn't even book myself. Like that's no, it's not about me. It's about the artists that are putting in the footwork and. Anyways, so yeah, lovely speaking with you again, Taryn. I'm sure we'll
I
see
know it's
each
a lot of
other
fun.
again.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. And
Keep an eye out. I'll be in Mississippi in June.
there you go for all you folks in Mississippi. Um, check her out, tearing it up. You can find her, like she said, in the underground.
My links will be posted. You can check it out. I try to post weekly. I support other underground artists. I take guest mix and post them on my, SoundCloud and stuff. It's not about me, it's about the music. If you got good taste and you're doing something, send it to me. Good DJs listen to other DJs.
That's true.
Good DJs listen to other DJ mixes. But
Yes, yes.
thank you so much. I hope you have a good day and we will talk soon.
All right, sounds great. Later.
Troll. I think it's because like I'm in control. Like I like the guys that like worship me. Always wanted me. I feel like he'd be more loyal to me. I think it's because like control. I think it's because like I'm in control. Like I like the guys that like worship me. I think it's because like I think it's because like I'm in control. Like I like the guys that like worship me. Always wanted me. I feel like he'd be more loyal to me. I think it's because like troll. Like I like the guys that like worship me. I think it's because like I'm in control.
chatting, but they ain't involved. Me and bro are whizzing 80 down the Bates Road, leaning back. I just heard my record on the radio. They said that I ain't got it, then I take it though. Ain't nobody gonna stop me when I take the throne. No, if you drop the ball, I'll pick it up and I will take it home. If not me, then who? If not me, then who? Yo, if not me, then who? Came in the scene with a point to prove and I ain't got nothing to lose. So shut up, get out my face when I step in the room. Bad energy, now that can't do, now that can't run, I'm not in the mood. Yo, that B wanna get down with a kid like vinyl, she wanna groove. Told her you better not lie to me and she lied to me, that's rude. Can't put me in the rat race, I need to set pace, I need to move. I'm grinding too, cause if not me, then who? If not me, then who? If not me, then who?